excited to talk more. Okay, so talk to me about, for those of you that don't know, or for those of you that are just joining, we're with the Global Hemp Association. We go live every day at 10 a.m., Monday through Thursday, so not really every day. But my intent is to make introductions and help move the industry along. So thank you very much for joining, if you are, or when you do. Leave us a note and say hello. But welcome, Vinny. I'm very glad to have you on and excited to chat more about something I'm super passionate about. And so an hour will fly by very quickly. Tell me real quick a little bit about yourself and give a quick intro. Thank you for coming back.
The first thing that I would like to say is if people are talking about, I represent Global Hemp and you are Global Hemp Association. So people might ask, are those guys working together? I'm going to tell you, I have no idea who Mandy is. I mean, I don't know where she lives. I've never seen her before. I mean, we just happen to have the same name and a global thing. And she wants to associate with the right companies and individuals and try to trade. So I really like that. And in our case, Global Hemp Solutions, because we provide solutions that are global for hemp. The last time I say that we have been so blessed that we have clients in Asia and China and Europe and the US and Latin America. We really believe that hemp can do a lot for us. But not a big, how can I say this? I'm going to say like that this is the best way. This year, maybe since July last year, people ask me and say, I have $1 or $2 or $3 million. I would like to set up a facility for extracting CBD oil. And I immediately, and I say, listen, I can sell you CO2 extraction. I can sell you ethanol extraction. I can sell you butane or propane. So I can do that. I can design the lab for you, molecular distillation or fractional distillation. I can sell you chromatography, everything. But the question is, do you have the buyers for the product? If you don't have them, then don't do it. Because what is going to happen is what's happened what is happening right now with the product on CBD oil. It's a race to the bottom. Who can sell it? But there's something that I like, and I hope you don't take this like a bragging thing. But I don't drive the cheapest truck, and I don't have my wife driving the cheapest. Because cheap is not always the best.
I agree.
So sometimes when people are buying the cheapest product, I'm wondering how good that product could be. Because something like this is almost 80, I think it was 87% potency on extracting on CO2. And if someone wants cheaper, I just put any kind of oil, you just dilute it, and then you can sell it cheaper. But the quality is not going to be that good. And the research and development most likely is not that good.
I just have a question. I know there's was a lot of discrepancy in sales between liters and kilograms or grams, so forth. How is crude being sold? Is it by the gram?
Apparently by the kilo. And there is a misunderstanding regarding, a kilo is the same as a liter. On certain liquids, yes, but not all of it, because it's not like that. So we should be selling by the kilo, and that's why you see all these guys weighing in their full spectrum crude oil. But if you dilute it with certain oils, it will weigh the same, but the potency will not be the same. It's as easy as when you see your coffee is black. It's dark. If you put a bunch of milk or water, then it will dilute. You will have more coffee, but it's going to be maybe not as good as you want. So with everything, you can dilute it and sell it cheaper. But the question is not how can you dilute it. The question is the quality of the product that you want.
Right. Well, and that's why I ask about how it's being sold, right? Is if it's still by the kilo and one has a significant better quality and amount of product that you're looking for. I'm just curious where it's moving and where it's at now. I haven't really looked into that piece of the market for the last 6 months or more. And I know how fast it moves.
Yeah, that's why it's so important when you have the COAs, the certificate of origin or whatever you're going to call it, the authenticity or whatever. You have those tests, and it's telling you what kind of heavy metal does it has or not, the distribution of different cannabinoids on the crude oil. So you'll see, okay, when you're buying, okay, yeah, this is a kilo that costs this much, and this is a kilo, but the cannabinoids are different and all those stuff. But if you don't trust the guy you're buying it, just walk away, because anyone can fake COA. Almost anyone, especially now. I think you don't need even Adobe Photoshop, because some of the labs are sending you Word doc. I received some invoice, and the small labs invoices from products that I bought from them with an Excel spreadsheet. That you go to Excel and you want to do an invoice, create an invoice from Excel. It was exactly the same invoice. So you know that they don't have a CRM system or anything that controls that. So if you don't trust the people you're buying the products, don't trust the COAs, don't trust, because labs are doing terrible jobs and people know how to manipulate the information, unfortunately. So you need to know.
You're exactly right. I think that's my biggest concern in that well, in a lot of the market, is the standardization and the track and trace, or the seed to cradle. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think the issue is trust.
Yeah. Okay. So off of COAs, I want to talk about fiber. I want to hear fiber market. This is where I see all the opportunity, and where obviously I get very giddy about these conversations. So tell me what you're seeing in the fiber market, or what are you working on right now, and what opportunities out there that people should be aware of?
There's a lot of things that I can talk, and there are a lot of things that I cannot say directly, because I under NDAs with some of the clients. I think that's one of the reasons why our clients love us, because when they ask, what did you did over there, and you say, I cannot say, because I can't. So what I've seen on fiber is almost exactly what happened with CBD oil. I'll see people come in with great ideas, marvelous ideas, but they are forgetting something very important, Mandy, which is industrial hemp. Industrial hemp. I always say, you want to treat this as an industry, and your equipment process 20,000 pounds a month, or a week, or a day, or even per hour. And what I always say is this: I compare with cotton, because hopefully we will replace cotton with hemp fiber once it's cottonized. There is here in Texas, I'm here in Houston, here in Texas alone, we grew this year 6.5 million acres. I'm going to say it again, and it's low, 6.5 million acres. 2019, we grew, 2018 or 19, 2019, we grew 545,000 acres of hemp in the whole country. The whole country, or at least the licenses were given for 545. So it's 500,000 acres in the whole country, 500,000. And apparently almost like 300,000 acres were grown. So when you compare 300,000 acres to 6.5 million in Texas alone, the whole country is almost 14 million acres.
More than half.
And then you multiply, if you're, depending where you are, you can get between 6, maybe 8, and if you're extremely good with your SOPs, your genetics, and your soil and everything, maybe 10,000 pounds per acre. So replacing cotton with hemp will be impossible if we use the other people's ideas. They have great ideas. They're great ideas, Mandy. I don't diminish, but their equipment are very tiny. They're processing 10,000, 15,000 pounds, very small per week or per hour. And when you're talking about millions, 6.14 million, I like numbers, but when you say,
I want to talk numbers, because I want to make sure that listeners and other people understand that you're talking about how much volume needs to be processed compared to the way people are processing now, and where the lack or where that gap is in opportunity and need. I mean, this is really a need, because all I hear, especially in my textiles meetings, is people can't come into the industry and buy in bulk until we can supply the demand, right?
Yeah.
And
let me put it in numbers, man. So
please.
14 million acres. Let's say that we're gonna get 8,000 pounds of hemp fiber. Not all of it is gonna be cottonizable because you need a long technical fiber. We're talking about 112 billion with a B, 112 billion pounds that we can produce if we have the 14 million acres of cotton converted into hemp. A stupid amount. Let's talk about only Texas, 6.5 million, and we're not going to even touch not even touch everything. Let's say only 500,000 acres. 500,000 acres, and here in Texas, let's say that we're going to grow only 6,000 pounds of hemp fiber per acre. Very small.
That's half of what you just quoted, or nearly half.
3 tons, 4 tons, maybe 5 tons if you have your SOP is really nice. But let's talk 3 tons per acre. You're talking about, if we grew in Texas 500,000 acres, which is nothing, it will give us 3 billion pounds. The processing facility that we promote will able to process 20,000 pounds per hour. So I'm going to divide the 3 billion pounds divided by 20,000. That's 150,000. So let's divide it by 365 divided by 24. So we will require 17 facilities like the one we're talking about to process 500,000 acres converted from cotton into hemp. If we run 24/7, 365.
And I need people to understand, or I guess I want to make sure that we're clear. The facility you're talking about is significantly larger than what's currently being.
It will be the biggest one in the world. The biggest operating right now is processing 14,000 pounds per hour. It's in Europe, 14,000 pounds per hour. When it runs at 100% capacity, and it's not running at 100%. So this one will process 20,000 pounds per hour. There's another company in Texas that they say they want to do 20,000 pounds per hour as well. There's another one in Illinois that they're thinking about it. I mean, it will be the biggest processing facility for hemp in the world, and still we will require 17 facilities.
Okay, so when you say processing hemp, what type of hemp are we processing? Start to finish? Will it have extraction facility included well, just for fiber?
Yes, because there's
fiber, fast herd.
You know, when we come into this, we try. Sometimes people don't like me because I'm too. We came into this, yes, we're trying to help the planet. Yes, we're trying to save water. Yes, we're trying to make great products. But people are coming into this because they want to make money. I mean, I'm here.
Reality is how many lifetimes and how many people can say, in my lifetime, a new commodity became available?
Since oil, I don't remember another one.
So I think that this is I mean, you talk about opportunity to be at the leading edge. Yeah.
So talking about money, when people are thinking about that and they don't have experience, or they haven't been there, they're saying, I'm going to grow a tricrop. They say, I'm going to grow fiber, long, skinny one like bamboo, but I'm going to let it go all the way to full maturity because I want to get the seeds, I want to have the flower, I want to get the fiber. They want to have extraction to oil. They want to get the smokable flower. They want to get the seeds. They want to get the fiber. But then in reality, if you do that, and if you let your hemp fiber go all the way, then the lignins on the fiber are going to be too hard, too brutal. So you will not be able to have long technical fiber, which at the end means that you will not be able to cottonize that fiber to replace cotton. That's the idea, right? So if you really think seriously, and if you know, you do at least some due diligence, you know that when you're growing for fiber, grow for fiber alone and nothing else but fiber. And they might say, yeah, Vini, but we need the seeds because the facility that we're promoting, it will require 25,000 acres running at 100% capacity. We always promote to start 50% capacity. So you'll need like 12,500 acres. It's like 400 tons of seeds. No, I'm sorry, 400 acres growing just for seeds to have enough seeds to put into 12,500. I mean, it is huge. It is humongous, the amount, because we are talking about industrial. And even though our system is big, it's not big enough.
Right.
The jeans, the cotton jeans out there in Texas and Louisiana and in Georgia, they're humongous. I mean, when we talk 20,000 pounds per hour, we think it's big on hemp. But then it's nothing. It's extremely small. So the big mistake is that we want to talk about industrial hemp. We want to go into this as an industry and the systems and the equipment that people are creating. And I don't want to sound like a prick arrogant. Those systems are way too small, way too small. So if someone is processing 2,000 or 3,000 pounds, and it will take him decades, maybe a lifetime, just to process the amount of fiber.
Well, and then with that being said, they just can't keep up with the price in the competitive market, right? As commodities become available, price margins shrink drastically. It becomes, and so realizing that when business is coming into the industry, and we've been talking for a long time about what's needed is this capital injection to really move it along.
Yeah. But you say something, the markets shrink.
Margins.
Yeah, the margin. Yeah, the margin shrinks. Okay, so I'm going to share something here with you.
Well, and then when you're done, I want to talk also or lead into opportunity that becomes available, as these facilities, are in.
This is something that I did, I wanted to see, exactly how the price of cottonizable hemp fiber and, what's the price can be. And I thought, well, we're trying to replace cotton because this is the best fiber. So let's see what the prices of cotton are. And as you can see here, I went back to August 22, 1972. I went back almost 50 years. Every single day, I have the price of cotton since 1972. I'm going to go fast. 73, 5, 8, almost 80. You see every single, the last time that I checked, it was April 29, 2000. I went back 50 years. So when you're talking about cotton, I realized, okay, this is the average, 67 cents per pound of cotton. So I thought, if we want to talk about it, maybe if we jump with hemp fiber, because the cottonizable hemp fiber, if they don't know what it is, we might bring it at 10% below the price of cotton and then 60 cents per pound. So if we sell it at $1,200 per ton, it's good. So every single thing that I read,
$200 per ton?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and those are prices that I'm talking about, commodity prices on the stock exchange. Those are real prices.
Right.
So when I was fighting the issue of the prices of CBD oil, the issue is the industry is not there yet. The FDA hasn't approved it, so it's not in every single product, and we'll be there yet. Sooner or later, we'll be there. But with the cotton right now, or the fibers, the need for buying hemp fiber cotton is there. Everybody is buying. Here in the US, 14 million acres. The whole world is producing millions of metric tons per year on cotton. So we can sell it. That's for sure. There's a market. And if you see the synthetic fibers, every single synthetic fiber is selling more expensive than cotton. And hemp fiber is better than cotton. It's better than any synthetic fiber. It's lighter. Is stronger. I mean, it's more readable. I don't want to mention about all the benefits because I'm not the one to tell you. But what I can tell you is, if you want to treat this as an industry, as a commodity, check on the prices. So the prices of cotton, maybe something is the prices of cotton hasn't changed that much in the last 6, 8, 10 years. So we know that we have a good market. And another thing is this: if we are producing the industrial equipment, and I quoted industrial because this, and then when we bring 20,000 pounds of cotton lasso fiber, that's nothing.
Mhm.
That's nothing, man. So will it change the price of the cotton? The guys producing cotton are not even looking at us yet. Yeah, but they will. They will. They should, if we do it properly.
Absolutely. So in the supply chain, you're talking about providing the piece where the cottonized fiber would then be sold to the spinner in the textiles, and then the spinner would then take it to the mill where they would, or maybe potentially in the same, where they would then make fabrics. And
there's another thing that we need to, I want trying to make sure what things I can say. So in my opinion, if you go vertical, that's where you make more money. You know, that's what vehicles sell a lot more expensive than if you only buy the part. Well, kind of good. Well, when you grow vertical, you have more chances to make more money because then you specialize and then you know the material that you bring in, the process that you're processing. So there is a company, at least the company that we are promoting, Global Fiber Solutions, is not Global Hemp Solution. And there's other clients over there. The idea is to process the straw from the farmer into 4 pieces: long technical fiber, short technical fiber, the hurd, and the dust. Let's talk about the long technical fiber. You can have that one, but it will be nice. That's what we're doing, is to bring it to a place that is deep down, and then you take it to the spinners. For those spinners, you do it because we're talking about the system that we promote. It costs $12 million, roughly, based on the euro price.
for which part?
For the whole system that processes 20,000 pounds. That's for the equipment, but you don't need, you don't have a building, you don't have SOPs, you don't have, so just the equipment per se, $12 million roughly. Our idea is, if you have that, put an extra one or two extra $1 million, and then you have the spinners. So you provide everything. And exactly.
Well, that's what's broken here, right? That's what we need in the United States. Bad.
Yeah. The cotton gins, they will be able to process if they do some adaptations, some modifications to their systems. As a matter of fact, the equipment that we promote on the spinners is equipment that has been used in the industry forever. And when I was talking to the manufacturer for the spinners, he was telling me, Vinny, a bunch of cotton gins are asking me, do you know anything about hemp? Do you know anything about it? They want to jump for 2 reasons. Growing cotton is expensive. The yields are not that good.
Right.
The money is not there. So is it profitable? Yes. But I think if they switch into hemp, it will be a lot better. Not only economic, but now we're going to be talking the phytoremediation benefits that hemp provides. You use a lot less water. You don't use herbicides, pesticides. I mean, it's a lot better for everything. And then that's another thing. The project that we are promoting is not only, okay, here's the system, buy it. No, we're trying to build not a turnkey solution, but because no one has the key yet. To put it in perspective, Mandy, I remember, I don't know, I'm not going to ask you if you remember this. I'm not going to ask your age or nothing like that. I remember the fight between Betamax and VHS. And I remember people bought the Betamax and other people bought the VHS. And then at the end, it was VHS the one that triumphed and said, so now we came into VHS. Maybe you will remember this. Is it going to be an optical drive or is it going to be the CD drives?
Mm-hmm.
It was a fight. Sony was pushing for the optical drives, and at the end, CD-ROMs prevail, and that's why we have CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's a bunch of things out there that we don't know exactly the key. We don't know exactly. Is this fiber that the cottonizer will have? Fiber is the one that is going to be pushing the market. or is it going to be hurt? And if it's the hurt, is it going to be because of hempcrete, or is it going to be because you're going to have hemp plywood, hemp wood, or
Right.
what?
Right.
Or are you going to use the herd for horse bedding, or you're going to use it for? We don't know exactly what it is. So what is important is if you present the whole project, that's what we're doing. There's a company in Europe that you present the project. They know that hemp sequesters CO2. If you do it properly, you present the project and they approve it, and it's not something that you fill out an application and it takes time, a lot of time and effort. But if you do it properly, then once you sequester the CO2, you will know exactly how many CO2 tons of CO2 you're being sequestered per acre. But if you have the herd and you do the hempcrete or the hemp blocks or the hemp wood, then this company will have the credits to sell carbon credits to other companies. We have even talks and discussions with a company in Europe that is a coal. They produce electricity based on coal. They have a coal mine. They began with hemp because they know the phytoremediation. So once they finish mining the coal, they need to fix everything back to normal. And this hemp is amazing phytoremediation. But then they realize, wow, we can do a lot more than just phytoremediate because then we can have the herd. When we were talking about this and say, Vini, we as an electric company mining coal, we need to buy carbon credits every single freaking year. Now you're telling me that we could be the ones selling the carbon credits? And say, yes, if we do it right. So then you're talking about something else. But it is, we need to do it as an industry, man. That's what I keep saying. And if we go to small systems, it is nice for someone to build one house or two houses again. And the last time that we talk about it, I say, yeah, someone is doing something nice. And if your neighbor kid built a shed in the backyard and it looks really nice, you're not going to hire that kid to build your house. You need an architect, you need an engineer. I mean, you need a blueprint, you need everything. So what is happened with oil now, hopefully it will not happen. I know it will. Great guys with great minds, very brilliant ideas, but they're going to be doing this non-industrial. It will not work, at least not as an industry. Will it work to have enough hempcrete to build your house or your shed or your? Yes, but can we talk and discuss that one as an industry for hemp? No.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Well, and every time we're on, anybody that I talk to, and when we talk about opportunity, it really is it goes back to the large facility that can provide the volume and what we need. So help educate the investor, right? Because I had a group come to me and say, hey, we need some help at being educated around opportunity with hemp and hemp fiber. Because instead of our investors raising their hand and saying, wait, I don't understand, they'll just say, no, thanks, I'm not interested, and turn their head. So what do they need to be paying attention to? And what is it that, the obstacles that you're seeing when it comes to the big investment? Because we're talking a, $25+ million investment compared to a couple $1 million.
I did a blog kind of like this one with a great guy. He's very young. He's doing T-shirts and he's doing great things. And right after we have that conversation and we did it like that, he made a post saying something like this. And I think it was a great post. I'm not going to mention his name because I'm going to keep him private. He made a post and he says, sadly, the people that are into this, helping the planet, they have great ideas, but they have no money. And the people with money, the only thing are interested in to make more money. And he says there is a huge division between the people with great ideas helping the planet and the people with money. And he was right on point. I mean, he was right on point. But the issue that he needs to understand, and that's what I'm not mentioning his name, is that if we have no money to invest, we will not become an industry for hemp. We need money. And if you don't do it properly, for instance, I've seen some decortication systems that people are having over there, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them because they're having fun. But the herd is not properly clean, and then it contains dust.
Yes.
And then when you sell that hemp, that herd, and you try to bind it with it will not bind. It will be crumbling to pieces like sand as soon as you hit it with water. Because the cortication is nice. Yeah, you cut it into pieces, but it's full of dust.
Mm-hmm.
And it will not work.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's what they have. So we need huge chunk of money, $25 million, more than that. There's people talking about having a fund for $100 million and $200 million. And unfortunately for this guy, I love him. He does great things. He's doing great products already, t-shirts and clothing with hemp fiber, and I love that. But if we want to go industrial, we need a lot of money. And for that, we need the investors to understand that there is a lot of things that need to be built. There's huge things. For instance, I was telling you that the facility that we promote, it is only on equipment, it's close to 45,000 square foot facility. It's at 35 feet tall, so it's a huge place. And when we are doing the presentation, we show a tiny yellow thing right here. It's a tiny thing, and I say, "You see that, Yanni? Yes, that is a forklift." And then people are like, "Oh my god!" It is a tiny, 40,000 square foot facility. We process 20,000 pounds per hour, and it requires only 4 people. 4 people, fully automated. It's not that our system is the best. Not because we design. I did nothing on designing. What we did is we do the global hemp solution. We went to the world to find out which one is the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I love. Listen, my people might don't like me. I love China. They are building great products. We went to China, but trust me, I've been there. The way they process their hemp fiber is unspeakable. So I will never buy, bring, promote, or anything processing hemp fiber from China because that's not the way. Kept looking, and we found this one in Europe, and it's the best. In my opinion, it's the best system. But if it's not this one, there's other systems out there. We're just looking for something that is industrial, that has already a proven system, that is working, and work with that. So when you show that to the investors, that you have the know-how, the SOPs, not doing dry crops or dry crops, just grow fiber, you know your genetics, you know everything. I mean, for doing that, for research and development, we're doing testing, it requires a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have our clients and they say, Vini, okay, we would like to have your business plan because we want you. You have been working for this for a couple of years on fiber, so we need to know what's going on. That's it, perfect. We required a $50,000 retainer just to build a business plan. It's just the business plan. It's just the beginning, and we require 50 because you require money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share. I'm going to share a couple of things if you. I think you don't mind, right?
I think you just said something that I want to point out, and it's something I've noticed more and more. And one of my advisors says this all the time, right? That money, that initial money, that $50,000 speaks more than just the $50,000. It's commitment. You've got skin in the game, and it's hard in this industry. The number of startups that you run into that, like you said, have great ideas, but if we're going to talk real business and make this an industry, we need real business, and real business comes with money. I mean, it does. It's a great idea. And I also wanted to point out, I've had a couple of groups actually in the investment space who have pointed out the difference in the people that want to save the earth and the people that are in it for business. And there's a few or a small narrow gap of people that get it and can do both, you know, can provide product, but really it's a difference in a mindset in business. So I heard you.
So this is just the beginning, you know, how much things are involved, and we need to know exactly, for instance, the number of bags that we're going to be using per ton. The number of, I mean, everything is here. I mean, everything is here. But before we go that, let me show you something that I'm really proud of. When you do this, people ask me, where did you get that one?
Oop, I don't want to be there.
Okay. So, Vini, you say something about phytoremediation. Where do you get that one? Okay, this is the link. Vini, you say something about production here. Vini, you say something about the CO2 this. Vini, you say something. Vini, you say something about the prices of cotton. Vini, you say something about piles. Vini, you talk about this is a flax for pellets for injection. There's a bio pellet machine. I mean, there's a lot of research on that.
That's a lot of resource right there. That's worth gold.
I mean, you need to know exactly where is this coming, how much money you're making, what's the 5-year pro forma, where are you getting your herd prices, the equipment prices, and all the informational data that I'm getting, the price of cotton. I mean, you name it. I mean, when you're doing a business plan, you need to know a lot. And be honest with you, Randy, I don't know anything. I don't know everything. I just know a couple of pieces here and there. But one thing that I know is this. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I will find the best guys out there. I will try to join them and bring them as a team. Yeah. If someone says that he is an expert on hemp fiber, I'm not. And we represent the system that processes 10,000, 20,000 pounds. We're not an expert. I mean, even the guys running the facility that is processing 14,000 pounds per hour, they are not experts. And they've been doing this for years.
Right.
I mean, it requires, it's a team. And the investors, they need to see that is not a great idea, but it's something that is already proven. And this is something that I like about our system is it's a proven method. And if you're not Elon Musk creating the new Tesla, or if you're not the Steve Jobs creating the new Apple, or Bill Gates with the Microsoft, I mean, if you're not one of those guys, just look at what people are doing. If you can buy it, do it, because this needs to be treated as an industry. And if the people with money comes here and they don't see a business plan, they don't see an information regarding where do you get this? Why are you talking about microirrigation? Where are you talking about the CO2 tax credit? Where are you getting the herd prices? Well, I mean, when they see that we have done the due diligence, they say, okay, yeah, this is something that it looks very interesting. But they say, yeah, it looks nice, but you want $25 million? Yeah. But at least they have more information. And this is a division of the board that we need to break that gap. The people that love to save the planet, I'm with them. I want to. But listen, guys, we need money to do that. Unfortunately, we need money. But the nice thing is, if we bring money and if we help in the planet, phytoremediation, using less water, having better fibers, having better products, sequestering CO2, cleaning the atmosphere, remediation the soil, if we do that, then it will be more money. For what money? So we can build another facility. Remember that I began saying only 500,000 acres in Texas will require 20 facilities. Or, I mean, 500,000 will require almost 20 facilities. 1 million will require 40 facilities. Even Texas is 6 million, so it's 6 times 4, 240 facilities in Texas alone. So we need money.
So how far, there's a conversation we always have about how far away we want our facilities to make it affordable or keep costs for transportation.
No more than 200 miles from the farmers.
Right.
Because I'm a numbers guy, always counting every single penny, and as soon as you go too far, then the expenses of shipping and moving it. That's another thing, when people ask me, where can you put the facility? I say, you can put it almost anywhere. Yeah. Anywhere we have land, you can, because if you do it properly, and that's another thing that we're promoting. We're promoting that people come here, they will buy the straw from the farmers, period. Forget about splits and come on, the farmers did everything, Whenever they bring the straw, just pay them. And we're promoting to the investors that when they come here, they need to think about the equipment, of course, the building, of course, the SOP, of course, but they need to have some capital to buy and pay the farmers up front. Because we don't want to be like any other companies or industries like tobacco. I heard that sometimes people give their crops and they waited more than a year to get paid. That's not humane, honestly. And we don't want to be. We need money, and we want to do this as a capitalism system, yes, but we don't want to be
Well,
evil.
we can't. Our farmers are the lifeline of our. They're the linchpin in this, right? If we don't take care of our farmers and of our land, we're really in trouble. And so I respect that more and more. And it goes back to the value of where we take care of our rural communities. You know, by doing this, this trickles back down to us being able to support our rural communities and provide new jobs and open new industries. There's so much. Yes.
Yes, definitely. So when the investors come, you need to be as open as you can and show them almost every single part that you have, and let them decide. You know, yes, will I like to work with this company or not? We will have a couple of those with us.
Okay, so I want to talk real quick about our end buyers, right?
Okay.
So I understand that it's going to take a lot of investment, right? If somebody's coming into the industry and they're in it for the money, right? And that, I mean, because really investors want to put their money in and know that they're going to get a good return and a healthy return. And they want to now, at this, in my opinion, lead the industry. They have an opportunity here to really set themselves up and other people for a lot of success. Where after the herd is processed and you get the different types of herd, right? Or different certifications or qualifications of clean fiber, then where does it go? Talk to me about our end buyers. I know the auto industry is a huge buyer right now. Plastics has become a really big thing. I'm super thrilled about that as my network's grown and been able to connect with people that are producing some very sustainable hemp plastic. Yeah. Equally as much the textiles. It hits me even more. There's so many pieces of the textiles industry that this opens up. So
again, I'm going to say,
talk to me numbers and talk to me about what the need is and how, in my opinion, almost dumb simple it seems after we have the fiber to connect the buyer. But
so I'm going to talk numbers.
Please.
In Europe, the car manufacturers are using close to 50 pounds of hemp fiber put in the vehicle. If the US manufacturers decided to use the same trend and put 50 pounds of hemp fiber in their vehicles, I think we will require, I did the math, I might be wrong, but we will require 65 facilities like this one to provide enough hemp fiber for the automakers alone. And you're talking about one facility is close to $25 million, depending how you do it. So we require 40, 60 facilities like this one to provide enough material for hemp fiber for the automakers. That's one number. Second number, I could say maybe horse bedding. There is close to 10 million horse in the US. I know not all of them are really good. Some they use hay, but the people that use kind of like cedar bedding or pine beddings, if you bring horse bedding, one facility like the one we provide, 20,000 ounces per hour, one facility will be able, if you run 100% capacity, 24/7, 365, will provide enough horse bedding for only 90,000. There's 10 million horses.
I just need people to hear this, that the opportunity in investment for those that are looking to get into the industry, right, is the buyers are lining up. I mean, and it's something now that someone just made a comment that Kate actually made a comment. Hi, Kate, thanks for listening. That about POs, right, and the value of these conditional POs so that we can match them with our our spinning facilities, so that we can move this industry along. But it's going to take these big companies or these big players to come in and say, okay, I'm going to back this and I'm going to support this. And I'm putting that out.
I'm going to say something that is gonna shock you. There's or at least it was when I did the research, 100 million cats in the US. I'm talking domestic cats, 100 million cats. This facility, one facility running at 100% capacity, is able to produce cat litter for 190,000 cats only. That's it. One facility, less than 200,000 cats for cat litter. Wait. The cheapest cat litter that I found from China, again, please guys, I'm not saying buy. The cheapest one is 15 cents per pound. 15 cents per pound. If you do it here and you process it here, that cat litter can cost you 3 cents per pound.
Without having to.
I mean, the cheapest one in this case is crap, or pardon my French, but it's crap. That crop comparatively to cat litter is crap. 15 cents per pound. If you process it here, U.S. product, helping the farmers, phytoremediation, the soil, blah, 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 it will cost you 3 cents. Less than that. And you only have capacity to produce cat litter for 180,000 cats. There's 100 million cats. They keep growing, So,
well, and I mean, and that's a sliver. I mean, that's something that I didn't even think of. Right?
I don't even want to mention percentages, because if you mention percentages, it's like 0.00. I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah. Okay, so your farmers, what's your opinion as far as farmers waiting to get into the industry before actually embracing a new thing? I've heard from a number of different farmers, say Montana area, that they have an abundance of fiber that hasn't been able to be processed. That now, like you said, it's same things happening. People are starting to learn that the value of it. They're starting to grow hemp fiber, and now processing is not caught up. We're in this.
The processing facility will take at least a year, maybe 14 or 16 months to be built. There's a company here in Texas that they gave away, I think it was, I don't remember, it was 60 tons or 600 tons of seeds to the Texas farmers for free. And they say, grow it. And a couple of weeks ago, they sent a memorandum of understanding or a letter of intent, however you want to call it. And they are saying that whatever the farmers produce on the 2021, they will be buying it at $160 per ton. That's 8 cents. I think it's 8 cents. Yes, 8 cents per pound. They're going to be buying from the farmers here in Texas all the hemp fiber that they can produce on 2021. This year, they're not buying anything. But the nice thing with the hemp fiber, if you have hemp fiber, if you store it properly, you're not going to be worried about losing potency of the CBD or cannabinoids, because we're not looking for that one. Then you can store it and then process it later on. As a matter of fact, could be a good thing if you have it in a good place, because then the humidity levels will be even better. So I don't have an issue with that one. So let me say something extra about numbers, because you're talking about quantity. I talk to guys that are building houses using herd that they buy from Europe. They buy it over there between 23 and 25 cents per pound of the herd. It's a good one, not dust, good buying property. That's why the herd here in the US doesn't sell, because no one wants it, because it's bad quality. Unless you're getting rid of the dust. But those guys buy it for 23, 25 cents on the pound. Plus the shipping and taxes. When it goes to their location, it costs them 45 cents per pound. They're doing the hemp blocks, they're building houses, and they're telling me, Vini, even though it's between 20 and 25, 30% more up to help the planet. So we're talking about 45 cents per pound, and they're willing to pay. If you process this herd, it will cost you 8 cents.
Yes, so, listen, people.
45 cents, 8 cents. Which one would you like? Of course, this is cost. This cost. This is not. I'm not saying that the facility will be selling at 8 cents, but even if they sell at 3 pounds, 24 cents is cheaper than 45 cents. You don't have to wait. I mean, numbers. But the issue is this again, and we will be able to provide this amount of herd. The United States is the biggest importer for industrial hemp. And we import from 30 different countries. 30 countries are taking advantage of it. And let's talk about another number. This is beautiful. The most recent agreement that Trump signed with China, they are enforced on that agreement. They need to buy hemp fiber products from the US on that agreement. So even if we don't have enough buyers, we already discussed that what we are providing on facilities fine. China is enforced by that agreement to buy from the US hemp fiber products.
What about when they're processing? This is really good news. This is something that I'm been working on as far as the textiles. But what about processing textiles then in China? I mean, because they're not using, I mean, they're sending labeled hemp products back to the United States that are not hemp, right? And I know that happens across the board. You know, you've validated that a few times that it's
honestly, I cannot say if they are sending hemp products that are not hemp or not. I haven't seen that, but you know, considering human nature, I'm pretty sure they will. They do it here in the US when they say this is a full spectrum crude oil, 70%, and then they give you 30% if it's any CBD or cannabis. So it's not only China, it's human nature.
Well, and I mean, as far as manufacturing, if they have to buy US hemp fiber, what are they manufacturing with now?
With the hemp fiber that they are producing, processing in China, trust me, I've been there. Yeah. I've been in the Yunnan province and I've been in the Heilongjiang province. And this is just to mention something. There's only 2 provinces in China that they can grow hemp. The first one was the Yunnan province in the south, and the second one is the Heilongjiang province in the north. The soil is amazing in Heilongjiang, is like heaven. There's the only 2 provinces. And I've been there in 2 provinces, both provinces, seeing how they process the hemp fiber. No bueno. I'm telling you. No bueno. Okay. And they need facilities like industrial facilities to process. I mean, for the investors, enough buyers out there? I think there are. For the people trying to help the planet, I will say, keep doing it, keep fighting. But when the people with money comes, let them join in because you need them. If you want to treat this as an industry, and if we're going to treat this as a commodity later on in the future, we need the people with money because it requires a lot of facilities all over the world, not only here in the US.
And there's clear opportunity. I'm just ecstatic to hear what you just shared. It's like, it just opens more doors. You know, COVID and our pandemic really shined light on innovation in the hemp industry and the need for this piece. So
one thing that I can say about COVID is I love it because I have had a lot of time to do a research.
Sure. Yeah.
Mandy, thank you very much for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Oh man, I enjoy this. I love chatting. I'd love to stay in touch. I'd love to have you at some of our meetings, especially as we really talk about this and opportunity. And I want to put, my intention would be, I want a facility here in my back door, right? I would like to put one here in Utah to help our Utah farmers where I'm at. And I know that any of my members would say, yes, hey, we will also want them in our facility or in our back door. But where ideally would you in the US put a facility right away? If you had your pick.
Anywhere.
Yeah?
Anywhere.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Location, it's irrelevant.
Okay.
It's irrelevant. The only thing you need is this. At least 25,000 acres in the 100-mile radius, water, and farmers willing to make money. That's it.
Easy breezy. When we talked previously, you mentioned the seeds. Would you as a facility provide seeds for your farmers so that you get the fiber that you're looking for?
The idea that we are presenting to the investors of the projects that we're working with is that we will grow the seeds based on the test that we have done on the place that you're going to be growing. Because one thing that I'm not an agronomist, so I'm going to might say something that doesn't sound correct because I'm not the proper one to say, but grow genetics that are good for that soil on that weather, because the same seeds that are good in Idaho might not be good in Houston. So
Right.
what I always was saying with the crude oil was testing, testing, testing. When it comes to genetics for fiber, testing, testing.
Well, I love it, Vinny. Thank you very much for your time. I'm excited to bring you on and work together, finish collaborating. We'll do this again. Anybody else topics? I'd love to hear more about different verticals next time. Let's stay in touch. And Vinny, wherever else I can help you. Good luck at your other adventures also.
Have a great day and God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. See you later.
Bye.